Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Saudi bin Abdullah. My number is S55402. I am from Group 23 from course Admiralty Law, MMM3301. Today I will discuss about the SOLAS Chapter 40, Safety Measures for Ships Operating in Polar Water. Before I start, I would like to introduce my group member first. My group members are Nur Hakimah binti Abdul Manan, Tuan Nur Aisyah binti Tuan Muhammad Rani, Nur Ismailaila binti Khairul Hasan, and Marani Rah binti Muhammad. Ship operating in Arctic and Antarctic environment are necessarily vulnerable to extreme weather change. Bad weather will affect the relative charts, communication system, and cruise aids pose challenge to ship owners. Maritime Environment Protection Committee di 1956 effort adopts of guidelines for the ships to safety. The International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, SOLAS 1974, International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ship, MAPOL 1973, were established by according to International Maritime Organization, IMO. The safety provision of the Polar Code are incorporated by SOLAS Chapter 40, which states that operations in polar waters certified in accordance with Chapter 1. Based on this statement, I will conclude that the vessel operation must obey the all polar code to give security for the vessel and crews in the polar water. What is the polar water? Polar water is the area that Arctic and Antarctic that are vessel operations. What is polar code? Also, polar code is intended to cover the full range of shipping related matters relevant to navigation in waters looking from SOLAS and MAPOL. The SOLAS Chapter 4 had two of Polar Code that's Part 1A and Part 2A. By Part 1A of the Polar Code, the expected date on entry into force of the SOLAS amendment is 1 January 2070. Where ships built after that date must qualify of the SOLAS, while the ships that have been built before the date, they are required to comply with renewal survey after 1 January 2018. Next, for Part 2A, in accordance with MAPOL Annex 1, contains requirements that can usually be met with shipboard operations. They need to up to date to reflect Polar Code where operators choose to install new equipment such as oil and oily mixture. Polar Codes means for safety that what's the Polar Codes had cover for the safety and vessel operating. The Polar Code covers the full range of design, construction, equipment, training, and so on. The Polar Code that's covered for equipments such as windows and on bridge, lifeboat, clothing, fire safety, ice removal, and so on. The equipment can help for a crew safety. For example, fire safety is extinguishing equipment operable in cool temperature, protection from ice that cans and that are suitable for person wearing bulky and cumbersome cold weather. For design and construction of the ship, Polar Code had cover for ship categories, intake capability, materials, and structure. Vessel needs to fulfill the design and construction that provide. For example, the materials of ships must be constructed with materials suitable for operations the ships. Polar service temperature, the rules of materials need to apply for the ships that in low air temperature. Last but not least, The polar code also cover for operation and manning. In this scope, they are referred for navigations, training and certificate or manual. The vessels need to obey all the rules when operating on the polar water.